Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Purple Slushy here, back with another video. Today's video is gonna be super short. Basically, Suck Sage got completely gutted. It got nerfed to the ground, so I kind of wanted to go over that, and then the Awakening got some buffs, and we'll just read that, and then that'll be it for today's video. But okay, so Succession Sage. When using the skill Prime Rift Chain during the cooldown period, super armor has been added to it. So now, like when you do that long iframe, when it's off cooldown on Sage, basically for the 6 seconds that it's off cooldown, any iframe is now super armor, which I think is completely terrible that they did that. It makes the class almost obsolete up close because of how squishy it is. I understand that some people had a problem like tracking it, and they fixed that by now you have like a yellow light on you when you move, so you can see where they're at. But now when you move and it's gonna be super armor, since the class is so squishy, people are gonna be able to just hit you with all their skills, and you're gonna take so much damage, and it's just gonna be like almost impossible to survive now unless you have like an insane amount of DP. So I think the change from iframe to super armor has completely ruined Succession for large scale. I think it's going to be absolutely trash now. I won't know until we get the actual changes, but I agree with the damage nerfs. The damage definitely needed a nerf. So now when using Prime Rift skill, all defenses are increased by 20 for 2 seconds. So we did get defenses increased, and grabbing resistance is increased by 30, but I don't think that this defense increase for 2 seconds is going to be helpful, because if the cooldown period is 6 seconds, that means 4 seconds you're still gonna have all your defense low. Like your defense isn't gonna be having this buff, so you're still gonna be getting hit ridiculously hard, which is just, it's ridiculous. Like Kuno has that iframe that lasts a while, Sork has their iframe, and like Sork and Sage can basically iframe the same amount of time. Like look at this, my Sork, this whole thing is protected that whole time, and basically you can iframe, since the stam is the same on Sage, you can iframe, like basically stay in iframe in protection just as long as you can with Sork. But Sork, you can actually stay in it longer because of the shards. If you know how to use your shards off cooldown and keep your shards up, you can basically iframe forever. So like you see how my stam's gone, but I can still use shards, and then all I have to do is hit something and I get more shards, and then I can use more shards, and then look, I'm out of stam, like just hit something, oh there's more shards, so now I get, oh hit something again, oh there's more shards, oh more shards, you know. So you can basically iframe forever if you know how to manage your shards. Whereas like Sage, there's a point where you could only iframe so much, and then you're basically locked in place, and you can't move anymore. So now, it being super armor, you get that one iframe, and then bam, like you're gonna be able to take all that damage while you're in iframe. So I just think it's completely ridiculous that they did that. I don't think it needed that at all. And for the people that are gonna be like, oh well, it's too strong because you could iframe wherever and attack someone from behind. Well, yeah, that's true, but if you fight the class enough, even without them having that yellow marker, you can still know where they're gonna be when they come out. They can only be so many places. Say for example, the Sage is right there, and he goes into his iframe. All I have to do is back up a little bit and move, and then stay facing forward in this direction, and he's going to be hitting me. And when he comes out of his iframe to hit you with spatial, you can turn your camera enough time to give yourself protection. And if you're saying, oh no you can't, you can even do it if they're behind you. You can just turn your camera real quick like this, as long as you have high DP, and you can protect yourself. So all those people saying, oh well you can't tell where it's gonna come out, literally just get more skill. That's all it takes, is getting more skill at the game and understanding how Sage fights and understanding where they're gonna be coming out. Even in Node War, when there's a bunch of people on you, I do Node Wars on my Sork and my Sage, and like yeah, I have iframes, so I can iframe out of where the Sage is going to be. But even other classes, you can just sit there and block and protect yourself. It's not that hard. Those people that say, oh well, you know, the movement needed nerf because they can just attack you from anywhere. It's literally just a skill thing. As long as you know where they're going to be from and you protect yourself, you're going to be fine. A cooldown of 17 seconds has been added to the flow finishing touch. So I believe that is the flow for your spatial. So that's kind of crazy that they made the flow for that so long of a cooldown. The conditions for accumulating the effects of basic attack when interacting with overdrive skill has been changed to be possible only in the following situations: in place attack 2 hits, forward attack 3 hits, left to right attack 3 hits, and jump attack. I don't really understand what this is exactly, but I guess we'll try to like figure it out more once the class comes out. And then PvP damage, void gateways, 14% decrease compared to before in PvP, the damage, and then spatial collapse, 18% decrease compared to before. So I agree with these. I think that these definitely needed nerfed, but the movement nerf is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't think that they needed to do that at all. And the other thing that's kind of like upsetting to me is I understand that this nerf was needed, but like Wizard, Succession Wizard, their meteor, yeah, they lost SA and they lost a little bit of accuracy from Voltaic, but still, like, their meteors and stuff, 70% of Node Wars is just nothing but wizards. So even though they're unprotected, there's gonna be too many of them hitting too many big AoEs, doing way too much damage. You're still gonna see a ton of wizards in Node Wars. And I don't understand why they're not addressing the issue of the wizard damage. Yeah, they made it so wizards are unprotected, but what does that mean? Okay, wizards are unprotected, so like, say 5 wizards do a meteor at once, you're only gonna be able to CC one of them. All those 4 other wizards are still gonna be able to hit like a big group, and when there's 40 wizards fighting against you, it's still gonna be, it's just gonna be ridiculous. Like, I think that right now, large scale is tailored for range classes, tailored for archers, tailored for wizards, tailored for rangers, tailored for witches. There's no need for melee classes in large scale anymore, especially in Siege. That's why you see so many range classes in Siege. When's the last time you saw a Musa in Siege? When's the last time you saw a Meiwa in Siege? When's the last time you saw a Sork in Siege? You don't, because they're not needed. There's nothing in large scale that makes it so these classes are needed. Maybe if they added like garrisons or something, or like there's whole sewer systems for Siege, like under the castle, like you could go under the castle and like set a bomb and blow up the wall, so more classes have like an actual reason to be in large scale. Because if there was like a real small enclosed space, those melee classes would actually absolutely destroy like wizards and stuff up close, so then there would actually be a reason. But there's no reason for melee classes in large scale, which is the huge issue right now. And then decreasing the damage here is amazing. I think this needed to be reduced. That's awesome, but that still isn't addressing the issue of range classes in large scale. There's no need for melee classes anymore, and it's just sad. Like, the game is in just such an awful state right now, large scale wise, and I really hope that they address the issue. But these changes they're making now, I don't see it helping. It's just nuts to me. But that's just my personal opinion. So Awakening, when using Radiant Annihilation, a plus 9% accuracy effect for 10 seconds has been added, so that's really nice. The skill used immediately after switching from Awakening weapon to main weapon, from main weapon to Awakening weapon, has been improved for the C-swap, so that's cool. When using Bolt skill, the character has improved to rotate in the direction of the camera. That's actually amazing. Flow Judgment has been improved to hit enemies located in high places. That's going to be pretty sick. Overcharge Bolt has been improved, so now it can be activated during the cooldown time. So that's going to be actually sick. So now I think Awakening is going to be cracked as hell in large scale, because if Bolt can be used even off cooldown, you still get the iframe in cooldown, which is technically how Suck Sage is now before the change. Even though the iframe goes on cooldown for 6 seconds, you can still use it. So now Awakening is going to have a constant iframe. I think Awakening is going to be a completely different class in large scale now. This is what it needed. That's what I was talking about in my honest review video of it needed protection. It's too squishy to just sit there and SA trade with people unless you have a ton of damage. And now having this bolt skill is going to be amazing. And they also changed the grab, which is going to make it even better, but we'll talk about that in a minute. It is improved so that you can use the bolt skill in the state of the main weapon. So now you can use bolt in pre-awaken, which is sick. It's been improved to attack the opponent faster when the seize skill succeeds. So now basically when you grab, it's going to be a lot better. You'll be able to attack faster after you grab someone, which is super dope. The bug from this effect was not activated when using Radiant Annihilation has been corrected. The effect of Rift Chain has been modified, so it's normally displayed even in low graphic quality, so that's awesome. If you die in the Protectia area, when you enter during the Awakening quest in the Siege class has been changed so you can resurrect in that place through resurrection in the nearest safe zone. Dope. After using the following skills, when linked with Upsurge, has been changed to attack forward, Shock Relay, Chain Lightning, Radiant Annihilation, moving backwards, or Impaling Flash. So those are all great changes. So I'm not rolling off of Sage now. Now I actually have the motivation to get good with Awakening, because before I just didn't even want to try to get good with it because it was basically just SA trade people or get a grab and RBF and then hopefully you don't die when you're trying to combo them. But now with that bolt, you're being able to use it like infinitely. It's going to be insane. It's a game changer. Awakening is going to be the way to go in PvP now for Sage, and I like that because Awakening takes a tremendous amount of skill to pull off. The movement, when to use your certain skills, when to attack, when to defend yourself, when to move away from a fight, when to go in, when to grab someone. It takes how to combo people. There's a lot of different combos that you can do. So Awakening is going to be completely insane. And then tomorrow, if you guys want to check my website, bdohq.com, tomorrow we're going to have a full DK guide up. I got a really good DK to help me with the DK guide, so it's going to be actually insane. So if you guys are looking for a great DK guide, definitely come and check out the website tomorrow. And then also Awakening Sage will be added a guide for the website tomorrow. So if you guys need the Suck guide, it's here, but Awakening guide will be here tomorrow. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope it helped you guys out. Let me know what you guys think of the new changes for Sage. Until next time, it's been your boy Slushy. Peace.